Who are refugees?
Twese ubundi impunzi ni bande?
Sogokuru se yitwaga Rugayampunzi, akanga cyane abahunze umugongo, akagaya cyane abahunga urugamba. Impunzi ni abagabo, abagore n'abana babona urugamba aho batabaye, bakegura uturago bakohoha. Impunzi ikindi cyabo, impunzi mu nda nta mutima zigira, kubwabo barya bakaduriza, bamwe bakavuyarara, baryama mpaka rirenze, basodoka ntibarenga amarembo, ubundi bwose akabero hasi. Bakavuga we, bagaseka ibikombe bikirenga, nguko impunzi uko nazibonye. Ziriba we, ziraruga kandi zica inkoko ibikohwa. Impunzi nta ngeso mbi yazirenze, nta yizirenzeho zidahashye. Niba ushaka kwiga washakira ahandi uretse mu mpunzi.
Disagreed. Refugees are the earthborn, born generous and bountiful. And yes, beautiful. They are the earthling rings to conquer. They belong. They are creations that have left their comfort zone for the desperation zone unwillingly, but for the reasons. Once farmers ran hunger, strong hunters bury beggars. Stealing?
Yes.
Thief?
Of course.
No, that's my fault. They are divergent and independent, just like we all humans are. 5 siblings, 3 can be silly, 1 normal, and another dumb, but that doesn't give them the same surname of one's sin. Refugees are human beings living in shelter, but not forever. They may be homeless, but not hopeless. Helpless, but not careless. They are sleepless and tireless dreamers, supportless workers, tend to win. They fall, they work, and they walk. Refugees are human.
What can we learn from refugees?
Persistence.
Persistence? Uziko ari byo mu Kirundi byitwa kugumya ibanga. Yesu abanga. Whoever persisted and still, who persisted and failed to defend the land of his elders. I can see their whole bodies are so loose, but just persisted feet to run. Running for shelters far away, running for food from other people's farms, running for begging from other people who are passing by, and sometimes running just for keeping their bodies in motion, not at rest. They are good persisters on the street and have extreme resilience under their feet, under their shoes, just to run. I once thought...
Thought what?
The word, the letter R in which the word refugee begins simply means running. Run and run. Persist, run, don't get tired, don't stop, run. Run the world until the world has no more remaining place to reach. Mind nothing else other than running. Run. I thought to be a refugee at some point is a vocation like being a priest. For priests, they read gospel, and for refugees, they run hills and valleys. Zero resilience. The persistent fellows are there insecure in their home states, but fighting for their safety. Then non-persisting ones are there in the camps enjoying fruits of their vocation to run. How to persist? Please consult elsewhere, not from refugees.
If only you could read the esophagus and stomach. Their feeding story would take you years and years, reading how and how persistent they are. In the summer, millions of folks spend millions of dollars on the beaches. But them, at 3 p.m., under the burning sun, seemingly not to set, sitting down, surrounding some small saucepan with small bent spoon, waiting for the maize porridge to be their breakfast, lunch, and supper, and get away of hunger by the skin of their teeth. Amazingly, they survive and stand still with no suicide. Persistence, they are. Bullshit, they call them. You know what? They don't give a shit. They feed themselves to shift from that shit. Seasonal, they overcome and come out of it with bags of experience. So we call it welfare. Refugees consist persistence.
Now, what can we learn from refugees?
Mutual support.
Mutual support. Babona bahirikiranye ukibwira ngo barapfumbatanye. Ucishe epfo ntarama iruruka. Icyo gusa icyo basangira ni iminwe. Iyo niyo ubona wo kayita ngo ni urunana ubwo bararamiranye. Hari niyo bahikirana abana igihe bimurwa mu nkambi bajyanwa mu yindi. Yewe bagira runika baramirana hita haba ntambura uburu yakaraye mu rukiga yiringiye agatege kindi. Gusa wa mwana buri gitangaza ntubuze byose nsekeje akanya. Umuco support ariko nawe urabizi ko ushinga. Washaka intwarane ntiyashakira mu nkuzi yajya gushakira mu mirenge.
I have heard the stories of the folks who are dying of hunger in the hospitals while their next door's dogs growing for its non-stop, while their next door's beer account expands in minutes. But refugees, no income, no mattress to stress off, no food to satisfy their family. Still, they visit and feed their next doors at the hospital. They share. They share to the extent 1 by 2 plates for the family of 10 people, but still rent one to their next doors with no wahala. To tend to use 1 plate. Satisfied, they feel fearlessly in the midnight where the lights hides as bright as the burning cigarette. They rescue their next doors. Selflessly, refugees consist mutual support.
What can we learn from refugees?
Happiness creation, of course.
The most expensive need is happiness and satisfaction. People buy most of the things that they can afford. If they earn nothing, they will buy almost nothing. Ibyo bikitwa amabura kindi. Ikindi kandi, kuriya si ukubaho ni ukunamba no kugwa nabi kose ni ubunango. Uwaba muzima yakamiwe n'amaboko, impunzi zo ngo zizakamirwa n'amaguru. Ayazo ni kuriyanga buriya. What can we learn from refugees?
Living at the minimum cost. 200 per day. They buy soap, salt, and clothes. Magic?
Yeah, magic.
You can't imagine how they manage to manage the unmanageable money. Magic?
Yeah, magic.
You can't imagine how they manage to manage unmanageable money. You have thousands of degrees with hot brain at some degree. You've graduated in 4 to 5 schools in management, but still, you can't manage to manage your marriage. And yet, you call them illiterate. Listen, mate. Stop that so-called cleverness. Hire up less and listen to their lesson. Old, they grow up together. Divorce, they read in the newspaper. Ups and downs, they handle. Hand yourself in and let them teach you how to manage, cause management is their mate.
What can we learn from refugees?
Happiness creation, of course.
Ahubwo ugira utamenshi amenshi asuma nka Nyabarongo bavyukira ku miryango bakubita ubwongo ubundi utunwa twabo bakaducana wahita hafi aho kumva inkwenene ubwo uwapfushije ntabure narogewe imvura yabura bakitoramo umurozi izuba ryava ntibasizane basumira umurimo amazi bakicara bakavuga we man, without hope life has nothing to do with happiness. They're just pretending and you're trying to keep the time moving and keep the mouth move. And that's what you say and you call it happiness creation. I really want to be happy, but not as that of refugees. Happiness is about having choice, not just having nowhere else to go and nothing else to do. Zigira handi mama. urebye mu mpunzi narahebye.
In the middle of nowhere, where their hearts feels black and their scars bleed back and their scars bleeding back, heavy burdens on their back, empty hands, blank. They laugh and joke. I remember one evening I was walking under the moonlight. I thought it was a fight. But yes, I wasn't wrong. It was a fight. I had them counting beans like 1, 2, this is mine. It wasn't enough, but rough. How tough. But they decided to make fun of their lives. That's happiness creation. They were fighting against hunger that hangs around their neck. I heard them singing, Begi ibishyimbo, begi ibihungure, biragoye kubirishanya, none ubu numva mbikumbuye, birenze igipimo, byarenze igipimo. They sang and sang again and again, danced their melody, played their empty tank of the oil like a drum, counting the stars to push the time. Their sad song suddenly healed their heart, wiped their illusions, covered their face with beautiful smile. Their hunger became the art to hang on. That's happiness creation. I heard them singing. Iyambonye imodoka ziturutse umugera, numva mfite amatsiko yo kumenya ikirimo, yewe haje iserewe, nkumbuye susoma, mfite amatsiko yo kuzayinywa magakoma. That song had to be sung when they heard the truck horning, running rashly, breathing heavily, singing loudly and smiling brightly. But sadly, sometimes the sounds were not WFP. Do you think it teared them up? No. They made fun of their race and laugh at themselves. Happiness creation. Refugees are amazing, living in amazing zone, A to Z, tough to zip, zigzag, they swaggy up and survive. We all can learn from refugees.
We all can learn from refugees.